Now, Ian Wallace is a professional dream psychologist, as you know, and has analysed over 100,000 dreams throughout his career. He says exploring our dreams is the most powerful way. Well, he doesn't say it in that voice. He says it's the most powerful way to understand what we want out of life. That's how he says it. But that's just my impression of him and how we can achieve it. Our dreams, wishes come true. There's a song, isn't it? Dreams are nothing more than wishes come true. Our dreams, our wishes.
Not entirely. They're far more to do with our needs and how we fulfil those needs. So rather than just wishing about things, it's the things that really drive us and the things we want to achieve in life.
What about those people that say, look, I dreamt something and it came true?
Well, there's two things that could cause that to happen, Steve. One is that our dreams come from our unconscious, which is usually 2 or 3 days ahead of our own conscious mind. So we pick up on lots of little signals all around and we can predict things from them. But also, 60 million people in Britain, they have on average 5 dreams a night. That's 300 million dreams. Someone's bound to dream something will happen the next day.
OK, email from Megan Windle. Every day last week I had this dream in which I was eating a bowl of cereal, but as I was in a hurry to get to the beach, I packed it in my bag and left. At the beach, I'd continue to eat the cereal, but then seagulls would surround me and steal the cereal. What's that one all about then? Stealing the cereal?
Anytime we dream about food, we're looking at how we can fulfil our needs in waking life and what will make us satisfied. So what Megan's dreaming about is something that she's working on. She's trying to satisfy herself. She's trying to fulfil a need. And it's something quite small, quite brief, or it may be a series of steps like a cereal. And she's working on this. She's in a hurry to get it done because she wants to get to the beach. She wants to be happy. So she packs into her bag all these seagulls are all the little annoyances that are stopping her realising what she wants to do. So it's some wee project that she's working on and she's just having to deal with all these anxieties around it.
And what do the seagulls represent then?
The seagulls are thoughts that are coming into her mind and usually other people's criticisms and judgments squawking at her saying, you can't do that.
So the seagulls represent other people?
Or her reaction to other people. So rather than standing up for herself and saying, I really want to do this, I want to carry on with a series of things, she's just giving up.
Wow.
You're really fascinated by this one, aren't you? Full of questions. Very quickly, one question from me. Why are dreams always so surreal?
Well, they're not really surreal, Tim.
They are.
They're just in a different language. They're in the language of the imaginal realm, so they're all to do with imagery and metaphor. So like in this dream from Megan, she's having a bowl of cereal, but it can also be a series of things. It can be a cereal.
Here's an email from Beverly Richards, who says, about 20 years ago, I used to work as an air stewardess, yet even now I sometimes dream I'm still doing that job. When I do, it usually involves me dreaming I'm either late for work or realising that I've forgotten an item of my uniform. There's always a feeling in the dream that something is holding me up or going wrong when I'm trying to do my job, which I find really frustrating. What could this mean, Ian?
When we dream of doing an old job, there's something in our current waking life that's triggering off concerns or feelings we had at that time when we were doing the job. So what an air stewardess does is she looks after the safety of people, she's taking care of them. So there's something in her waking life just now where she feels she has to work to a schedule, looking after people, making sure they're okay, and they get to where they need to go to. When she feels that she's not been able to do that, then there's something frustrating her. Missing items of clothing mean that she is expected to show up in a certain way, but she doesn't want to. So she has a frustration in her waking life that she needs to show up in a certain way, but she can't do that because she wants to do something else. So the message from the dream is that she needs to do her own thing and let other people look after themselves.
Okay. Over the last 4 or 5 years, says John Price in Bangor, North Wales, I've regularly had this dream in which I'm riding an escalator in a big shopping centre, which just keeps going up and down. Usually I'm alone, although sometimes I'm with a family member.
He's on the phone, Steve.
Is he? Hello?
Hello.
You can do that then if you're on the phone.
Sorry about that, John.
How are you, John? All right?
I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. Continue it then. So sometimes you're with a family member, and then what happens?
Well, I'm a family member in a shop in a big shopping. As I finish up the escalator, because these escalators are really big, and then you go down this little escalator, and there's another family member.
So you're going up and down with your family?
I'm not with my family when I'm in the escalator.
Thanks, John, in North Wales. So what's happening with John then?
Anytime we dream about an escalator, John, then we're looking at how to achieve something. So it's like a staircase dream that anything to do with achievement, we usually have words that are to do with height. So we're having lofty ambitions or being a high achiever. So there's something in your waking life, John, where you're trying to achieve something quite high. And the fact you're on an escalator suggests that it's maybe an educational thing, that you're in education because you're trying to move up through something. But you're not having to do a whole lot of the practical effort yourself. You're actually being taken through it. And because you're in a shopping centre, you're trying to see what the value of what you're doing is. So if you've been doing this for a number of years, you've probably been in education for a number of years, and you're just wondering what practical steps you can take to actually apply your knowledge in waking life.
Today, we're interpreting dreams with Ian Wallace, a professional dream psychologist. Don't go away. We'll be right back with the dream expert.
Yes.
So now we're back with Ian Wallace and we're interpreting your dreams, and I think we can probably go to another caller. Is it Joy Bennett in Hitchin? Hello, Joy.
Hello there.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. You?
Yeah, we're good. About 2 or 3 times a month, you say you have this recurring dream in which what happens?
Well, I've been on holiday and I'm just sort of coming back from holiday. I've usually been somewhere hot and it's a process of packing to come home. Now, I start to open all the cupboards and the drawers in the hotel or wherever and start to put things in the suitcase. But in the cupboards, there are loads of things which I know aren't mine. And they're also totally inappropriate for the type of holiday I've been on, like fur coats.
Right.
And not just one fur coat, but, quite a few. And then strange things crop up occasionally, like beaded car seat covers by the dozen. And
Right, are they in the room as well?
Yeah, and often huge items of furniture, like tables or dressers filled with
Well, you never get
china.
that in a suitcase.
No,
would you?
and Joy, what are you doing? Nicking the stuff?
I think so, yeah. But I get in a real panic because they're obviously my things, but they won't all fit back in the suitcase.
No.
And I can't understand how I managed to get them there in the first place.
And how do you get them, the stuff that you can't get in the suitcase, how do you get it through, like, reception? What do? You go around the back or around the kitchen? What do you do to get the stuff out?
At this particular point, I'm becoming so panicked and frustrated that I think I just sort of give up and sit on the suitcase as best I can.
Yeah. Have you ever been prosecuted for theft or anything like that?
No.
She's not thieving, it's her own stuff. She doesn't know how it got there.
No, but she's saying there's car seats that belong to
Yeah, but
somebody
it's
else.
her, no, it's hers.
Oh, is it?
Anyway,
Yeah,
Ian,
all my
what
things, yeah.
does it all mean, Ian?
Yeah.
Hi, Joy.
Hello.
Hi. I'm just to bring some sanity back to the conversation.
Yeah,
Nigel.
okay.
Thank you.
So when you dream of being away in a hot climate and holiday, Joy, it means that you're having quite a relaxing time. You're doing something you're satisfied with, but
Right.
you're trying to get back. So anytime you dream about drawers and cupboards, it's habits and memories that you have,
Right.
and all those things in them are just various things from your past, and you're trying to stuff them all into that one little suitcase. And anything, when you're trying to move with a suitcase, it's your ability to fulfill yourself in future life. So what the dream's saying is that you've got experiences and habits and memories from the past that you just really need to let go of.
right.
And then that will give you enough room so you'll be able to travel more lightly. So you just need to let go of some things and then just move ahead.
Yeah.
Right, I shall try that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. What about the fur coat then? What's that like?
Well, there's different sorts of them. Some of them are really sort of heavy Russian-type full-length fur coats. Then you get some sort of shorter jacket. They're complete nonsense. They really, no set pattern to what they look like.
Yeah, but it's quite interesting. I mean, I do take the point that it was all your stuff anyway, but it's quite interesting that now Ian's explained that. It makes sense, doesn't it, somehow?
It does, yes. Very interesting.
Thank you very much for calling. Really appreciate it.
Okay,
Thanks for being
thank
on.
you.
Okay, ta-da.
Bye.
And you're going to do Karen Barley's, are you? Tim?
I am, yeah. Karen emailed to say, Ian, I occasionally dream that there's a hungry tiger or lion loose in my house, and I feel threatened because I know it'll eat me if it catches
Yeah, you
me.
would do, really, yeah.
Well, I've had the tiger dream before, I must admit. Anyway, Karen says, I race into the kitchen looking for anything that I can to feed it with, but there's nothing suitable.
Meat, she likes meat.
Well, a simple slice of ham, she says, or some biscuits. Well, a simple slice of ham isn't going to do it.
No.
Anyway, she goes on to say, when I run to hide, the doors won't close properly and the locks don't work. Eventually, I wake up in a panic just as the lion is pouncing. What could this mean?
Anytime we dream about a tiger or a lion, we're dreaming about our instincts and impulses. If it's a lion, it's usually to do with our confidence and how much confidence we have in our talents. If it's a tiger, it's about asserting our independence and autonomy. So Karen has got these creative instincts, but she is worried that they'll become an all-consuming passion and she'll just fall prey to them when the tiger or lion eats her. So she tries to feed her talents, but she's only got really simple things and she ends up hamming it up or thinking that just really takes the biscuit.
Hey,
I see what you did.
So she runs away. She tries to hide from her own talent, so that's why she's trying to close the doors and lock them. But you can't hide from your own talent. She can't run away from it, so she just has to accept it and be a bit more independent and confident in her creativity.
Interesting,
very
yeah.
interesting,
Facing
yeah.
your anxieties, I suppose.
Yeah. Is there a point in the year, Ian, where we don't dream as much? I mean, does the weather, does the heat in the room, what affects our dreams and our capacity to dream? Is it how much sleep we get? I mean, supposing we only get 4 hours sleep, do we dream less, or do we squeeze all of the dreams into 4 hours?
With 4 hours sleep, then we'll only really have 3 dream episodes. But what happens if we are sleep deprived? Then we'll lose out on rapid eye movement sleep, which is when we dream. And then in waking life, we'll become really confused and quite clumsy. And then when we do catch up on our sleep, we have this thing called REM rebound, so nearly all our sleep will be dreams. And we just dream all the time until we catch back up again and get that stabilised. In terms of doing it during the year, we tend to become more aware of our dreams when we're a bit unsettled. So like just now, when the days are getting longer, lighter mornings, we'll tend to wake up more and realise that we've been dreaming.
That's really interesting. And are we able to remember good dreams easier, or do we always remember bad dreams, i.e. nightmares, easier?
We tend to remember the most powerful dreams, the ones that are most vivid. And there's no such thing as a good or a bad dream. And all a nightmare is a dream that's a bit more emotional and where we feel a bit powerless.
Yeah.
But the reason that we tend not to remember our dreams is just an evolutionary thing. It's biological, that 50,000 years ago, when we were in caves, we had to wake up quickly and get on with fighting off a saber-toothed tiger or a neighbouring tribe. But since then, since we started actually drawing our symbols on cave walls, then our language has become much more symbolic. So that's why it's important to remember our dreams now.
But also, dreams are physical, as it were, because most people in this room and out there in the control room, people listening, they'll say, well, I woke up sweating from a nightmare or a dream. Physically woke up sweating or out of breath.
Dreams are so closely connected with our emotions, so we'll actually engage. So in a dream, then when we're being chased, then our heart rate will go up. If you watch a pet like a dog, you'll see it scampering along as it chases something, and you'll see it sniffing the air. If you watch a cat, it'll be stalking in its dreams. So we actually do that in our dreams as well. We're actually living the dream out.
And animals dream?
Animals do dream, yes.
Yeah. Are there any animals that don't dream? I mean, do all animals dream? Even, does a slug dream?
It may do, but no one knows.
No.
But certainly higher mammals and birds dream, and we can see them dreaming.
What are you saying? You've never studied a slug?
No, that's on the agenda. Maybe next week, Steve.
Next week, OK. Do that next week or next time you're in. Ian Wallace is our dream expert, and he'll be returning in a few more weeks. Thank you very much, Ian. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Tim.